because that one earns you the most money. And yes, they just because something comes up with a lot of money, obviously it's going to take a lot of problems to solve them. I mean, the project that I'm doing right now, I'll technically be considered a full stack developer because I'm working on the front end and the back end, right? So to be honest, the front end is AI can do front end, right? Like, I mean, bro, literally just type into AI, yo, can you just build like a front end gift shop or a front end like shoe store or whatever, and bro, it'll build it in like no time, bro. So I mean, AI can do the front end development part of you for you, sorry. But when it comes to the back end now, that's when it gets a bit complicated because it it seems to not have enough data in order, even which is kind of strange to me because I'm using ChatGPT, right? And you know, the backend logic for me fails constantly, which is surprising to me because it's like, isn't this not being trained off of data, right? So it's like if I type a certain response into the chat box, it's supposed to understand what I mean, right? But for some reason, the data that ChatGPT has isn't that good, right? So to be honest, man, front end, sorry, full stack is the way to go. Front end, AI can do it, and back end is like you can still do back end with the help of AI, but you just have to like double check the code and ensure that all the logic makes sense because sometimes AI doesn't get the logic correctly, and then well, that takes you down a whole that takes down a whole leap of code to fix, So yeah. But let's just jump into this first video though about should you become a full stack developer. Let's pull this back a bit and let's get into it.
So you're thinking about becoming a full stack developer. Sounds powerful, right? Twice the skills, twice the opportunities, twice the LinkedIn clout.
Oh yeah! I want you!
But here's the truth. Being full stack doesn't make you unstoppable. It makes you overworked and underpaid with twice the headaches. Because front end alone is already chaos. You pick React, but then someone screams, Vue is better. You touch Angular.
I mean, to me, when someone says front end, right? I'll be sorry, man. When someone says front end, I literally just think about um like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Like I don't think you need to go any further than there because I mean, if you're using React, it's like I mean you're kind of doing too much body. Like bro, just use HTML and CSS and JavaScript and you're good. Like bro, just like like you can just use JavaScript for drop down menus and CSS always style the page and stuff like that, and HTML to, with obviously the structure of the page, right? So, it's like to use React and all these different stacks is like, bro, like, buddy, what are you doing, bro? Like, get a life, man. you know?
Already chaos. You pick React, but then someone screams, Vue is better. You touch Angular, but then everyone tells you it's dead. You finally get something working, but the CSS decides to betray you. And suddenly one button is 3 pixels off and you're questioning your life choices.
Yeah, man, bro. I used to remember those days when I started like starting to understand CSS, bro. Man, CSS was a headache to understand, bro. And I mean, it still technically is because, I mean, bro, look, it's like why struggle with CSS now when you have AI, man? Like AI can literally do it. I mean, if you don't like something, you could also change the colors of it. But really and truly, bro, like man, just type into just type into AI, look at this modern website and like copy the CSS code, bro, and like yeah, man, it's done, bro.
Decides to betray you. And suddenly one button is 3 pixels off and you're questioning your life choices. But backend isn't easier. Wiring databases, fixing authentication, and Docker is
And we'll get into the backend, but yeah, backend is I would say if I had to choose between backend or front end, I would probably choose front end because backend, bro, man, bro, if your logic isn't on point, bro, you are cooked, man.
But backend isn't easier. Wiring databases, fixing authentication, and
Yep.
Docker is exploding for no reason. The logs are screaming, Postgres is mad, and the server only goes down when your boss is watching. So being full stack should make you a hero. But in reality, it makes you half good at 2 things while being blamed for both. You can style a front end, but it looks like it was designed in MS Paint. You can write a back end, but it's held together with Stack Overflow copy-paste. You're not full stack, you're full panic. But companies love it. Why hire 2 devs when they can hire 1 full stack engineer and squeeze out double the work for the same paycheck? And they'll call it a growth opportunity.
Yeah. Well,
Translation: you're about to do the jobs of 3 people while being paid like 1 with exposure to production environments. Wait.
yeah. Oh wait, bro. This man bought again his sponsor, bro. We not about to do that, man. Hold on. Let me skip this part. I have one thing I wanted to say though. That let me skip past this. Okay. Yeah. What I wanted to say is that it's capitalism, right? I mean, everyone looking to hire everyone for the cheapest, right? So it's like, yes, you can maybe get a front end and a front end dev and a back end dev, or you can get a full time dev that does both the same job of the front end and the back end. But as he mentioned in the video, is that you know it's going to take a lot of time or a lot of skill to learn or to be good at front end and back end, right? So it's like you can understand the logic of saying, well, I can hire this front end developer who's very good at this because he's been doing this for like 10 years, right? Or then you could say the same thing as well for the back end developer who, been doing this for 10 years, building servers and whatever, right? So it's like, yes, you can hire professionals that are good at that one thing, but it's like this full stack developer who has been a full stack developer for like 5 years, you know, just came into the game and can literally take your job because he's doing both of your jobs, right? The front end and the back end, but for a lower salary, right? So it's just capitalism at the end of the day because companies they don't want to hire a they don't want to hire 2 different people when one person can do the job. So it's what it is, man. That's how the world is. But to be honest, man, like I actually hear it because I mean it does make sense to hire one person who's very good at this one thing rather than hiring someone who's half good at this thing, but they can do the work. But I mean it's up to you, man, however you want to, do
Blog.
that.
Back
But
to
yeah.
it. And the job descriptions are wild. They say full stack developer, but what they really mean is React, Angular, Vue, Node, Python, Java, SQL, GraphQL, Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, Azure, and maybe Psychic Powers. All for
I'm keep it real. Any companies, bro, I'm using React, like Spring, maybe some JavaScript, like Tailwind, like bro, I'm not, bro. We ain't doing all that, bro. Like, yo, I ain't doing all that, bro.
$70,000 and free coffee. Is free coffee really worth all that?
Yeah,
But the
man.
interviews are the real circus.
Oh,
First, they'll hit
that's another thing. Sorry if we keep pausing, but I just had to say this, like, bro, do not. If it's one thing I've learned, especially because I'm young still, right? Like one thing I've learned is to never undervalue yourself, man. Bro, if you know you're good at something, man, bro, try to get the best out of that skill, man. Like never undervalue yourself, bro, because like I understand why some people may say that, well, I need a paycheck or whatever, blah blah, but it's like, bro, if a company sees that demand in you, like that confidence in you, it's like, bro, they rather hire you rather than someone saying, well, I'm just casual, I'm just here to work. Like, bro, nah, bro, companies want to see that determination. They don't want to see, well, he has like, and this is Trinidadian, like Trinidadian sayings, right? Because I'm not sure about American, whatever, countries you're from. But if like everyone has a grade 2 or like a grade 3 in English, like what separates you from those people? And it's like, bro, you just have to be determined and have that confidence and being like, yo, bro, like whatever job you want me to do, bro, I can do that in like one day. Like you just have to be confident, man. Like Never undervalue yourself, bro.
Is free coffee really worth all that? But the interviews are the real circus. First, they'll hit you with front end. Explain React's virtual DOM. Then back end, how do indexes work in Postgres? Then system design. Scale Netflix on a whiteboard. Like, bro, do I have to build meta to get into meta? Here's the truth. Being full stack doesn't make you more valuable, it makes you more replaceable. Because once they know you can do everything, they'll just keep dumping everything on you. You're not an engineer, you're now the solution to everyone's problem, but with burnout issues. So should you become a full stack developer? If you love juggling chaos, go for it. If you enjoy debugging CSS at 2 a.m. and database migrations at 3 a.m., welcome aboard, but don't fall for the hype. Because full stack isn't 2 jobs in one, it's 3 jobs duct taped together with a solo salary. And that's the scam nobody puts in the job description. And hey, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to...
Yeah, so this is a good video, man. I liked it a lot. I mean, I would say that you know, from the project that I have built so far, and to be honest, I would say companies, would take those projects into consideration. But yeah, man, it really, you really have that love for it and that determination for it.
So, what's it?
So that would really be my advice. And now let's get into, should you become a back-end developer? So let's see what he is saying here.
Really like being a back-end developer. So, what's it really like being a back-end developer in 2025? From the outside, people imagine back-end devs as these mysterious wizards working behind the scenes, pulling the levers that make websites run. But the reality is a mix of problem-solving, firefighting, and drinking way too much coffee while staring at logs that don't make sense even after you paste them into Claude. Well, the core of backend work hasn't changed. You're building APIs, managing databases, and making sure the front end doesn't break when it...
Yep. This is yep. Yeah, you have to build the when you mean that APIs is like when users react, or sorry, when users like use the front end parts of the website, like you have to ensure that it's clean, it's working, like nothing is breaking. Hence that's why he said make sure that the front end doesn't break. So it's like it's just to basically make when someone is using your application, that it pretty much, like in simple terms, make sure that it works, right? So, and then managing databases mean that like all like the data that customers would enter into the database, making sure that they're going into the right fields and the right tables, the right rows, blah blah blah. And can't forget the servers as well, to make sure the servers are work as well.
Asks for data. But right now, the tools and expectations are heavier than ever. Microservices, containers, and serverless functions are no longer buzzwords. They're the standard. Instead of one big codebase, you're managing dozens of small ones, each with its own quirks. Sure, microservices sound great in theory, but then you're the one debugging why the payment service can't talk to the auth service, even though both are technically up. It's like being a digital plumber, constantly fixing leaks.
So I think basically what you're trying to say is like when you set on like PayPal and Apple Pay and Google Play, like basically what you're trying to say is that like it's going to be a headache to like configure those codes to ensure that they work, so that when someone purchases a product from a website, ensure that they like PayPal or Amazon or whatever is connected, right? So, or your credit card company is connected to like Amazon whenever you're purchasing a product.
Talk to the auth service, even though both are technically up. It's like being a digital plumber, constantly fixing leaks in an invisible pipe system. Then there's cloud computing. AWS, Azure, and GCP have gotten so massive that just knowing how to deploy something is practically a full-time job. AWS alone has over 200 services, and you're expected to at least pretend you know the difference between Fargate, Lambda, ECS, and EKS. The joke...
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna keep it sorry, bro. I have no idea what, bro. This is gibberish to me, bro. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Pretend you know the difference between Fargate, Lambda, ECS, and EKS. The joke among backend devs is that most of your time is spent not writing code, but clicking through cloud dashboards trying to figure out what broke. And if you've ever woken up at 3 a.m. because your auto-scaling group failed, congratulations, you've unlocked true backend developer bingo. And let's not forget the favorite child of basically every tech company nowadays, AI. It has crept into the backend world. And it's not just about writing models anymore. AI is being baked into infrastructure. A lot of backend...
But you see, and I mean, he is right. Yes, AI is coming into backend and also front end. But it's like it still isn't that good though because as I said, like I mean use ChatGPT, and what I realized with ChatGPT is that it doesn't like for some reason like when it get too complicated, it doesn't understand the logic and it fails. And I mean, and you could just say that it probably doesn't have the data for it now, but it's not like it's bad, but you have to really there's a certain way how you have to use it, man. And yeah, it's man, it is what it is, man.
Not just about writing models anymore. AI is being baked into infrastructure. A lot of back-end devs now spend time integrating large language models into their systems,
Yep.
whether it's for customer support chatbots or recommendation engines. Sounds exciting, right? Except that it also means handling unpredictable latency, token limits, and the occasional AI decided to hallucinate and recommend a toaster oven to someone shopping for.
Yep, bro. When it hallucinates, bro, I'll be like, bruh. Yeah, but I'll be like, bro, please, AI, please stay focused, bro. But yeah.
And the occasional AI decided to hallucinate and recommend a toaster oven to someone shopping for car insurance. But maybe the most defining part of back-end dev life in 2025 is security. Every company is terrified of being the next big headline for a data breach. So suddenly you're also a security engineer. You're expected to think about encryption, authentication, authorization,